I woke up from surgery to 73 missed calls and one voicemail that changed everything. My vision was still blurry from anesthesia when I pressed play. My father's voice filled the recovery room, casual, almost cheerful. "Jane, honey, it's Dad. So, we sold your condo while you were in surgery. Found a cash buyer. We signed on your behalf since you were unavailable. The money's going toward Sienna's wedding. You'll understand. Love you." $425,000. Gone. I could barely feel my legs. My back was screaming from 9 hours of spinal surgery. But lying in that hospital bed, I made one phone call that would change everything. What happened at that wedding 3 weeks later? Nobody saw it coming. Let me back up. I'm Jane. I'm 32. And I need to tell you about the secret I'd been keeping for 4 years, the one that made what I did at my sister's wedding possible. 7 weeks ago, I got my surgery date. Herniated discs, L4 and L5. The pain had been constant since I was 29. I called my parents that evening. "Mom, I got the surgery date." "Oh, that's nice, honey." Her voice was distracted. Sienna laughed in the background. "When is it?" "March 15th. I'll need someone to drive me home." "March?" "Jane, that's right in the middle of wedding prep." "I know, but this surgery. You'll figure it out, sweetie. Sienna needs me. We're picking out centerpieces." She hung up. I wasn't surprised. That was the worst part. I wasn't even a little bit surprised. When I graduated college summa cum laude, my parents weren't there. Sienna had an audition for a car commercial. She didn't get the part. When I bought my condo at 27, my father said, "Why didn't you help your sister instead?" 32 years. I'd learned not to expect anything. Sienna is 28. An influencer for 4 years. 12,000 followers, mostly bought. Never held a job longer than 3 months. When she turned 21, my parents bought her a car. When I turned 21, I was working double shifts to pay tuition. "Jane can take care of herself," my mother always said. "Sienna needs more support." The week before my surgery, I arranged everything myself. Home care aid, meal prep, bed in my living room. Not once did my parents offer to help. But they called 3 times asking if I could contribute to the wedding fund. "The venue alone is $80,000, my mother gushed. "And Sienna's dress is $22,000. "That's a lot of money, Mom. Ben's family is very wealthy. We can't look poor." Ben was Sienna's fiancé. I'd met him twice. Nice guy. Quiet. His parents owned a chain of banks. "I already gave you $20,000 for the engagement party. That was months ago, Jane. I have surgery in 5 days. "I can't." "Fine." Her voice turned cold. "We'll figure it out without you." Like always. I stared at my condo. 8 years of savings. 8 years of overtime and skipped vacations. I had no idea what it was about to cost me. When I was 12, my father told me I wasn't the pretty one. "That's okay," he said. "You're the smart one. You'll have to work harder, but you'll be fine." Work harder. That became everything. When I was 27, I walked into a bank and signed papers that made me a homeowner. No one helped me. No one co-signed. That condo was 8 years of my life. It was proof that I had value, even if my family refused to see it. And there was something else they didn't know. 5 years ago, my parents almost lost their house. $180,000 in debt. Foreclosure notices. I gave them $30,000. Every penny I'd saved. "We'll pay you back," my father promised. They never did. March 15th. Surgery day. The anesthesiologist told me to count backward from 10. I got to 7. 9 hours later, I opened my eyes. Everything hurt. A nurse handed me my phone. "Your family's been calling a lot." 73 missed calls. That's when I heard the voicemail. The nurse noticed my face. "Ma'am, are you okay?" I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I just stared at the ceiling and breathed. Something crystallized inside me, cold and clear. 2 hours later, I called my father. My hands weren't shaking. He picked up on the second ring. Jane, you're awake. How was the surgery? You sold my condo. A pause. Ah, you got my message. While I was unconscious. We needed to move quickly. The buyer. You forged my signature. Forged is a strong word. We facilitated the transaction. You would have agreed anyway. Would I? Of course. Family helps family. Sienna needed. What Sienna needed was $425,000 that didn't belong to her. It's not like that. You have a good job. You'll make it back. This wedding will set them up socially. Dad, what you did is a felony. Silence. Forgery. Fraud. Theft. Those are crimes. You're talking to your father like I'm a criminal. After everything we've done for you. You stopped housing me when I was 18. I've paid my own way since then. This is how you repay us. Dad, I said quietly. You're going to regret this. The line went dead. 20 minutes later, my mother called. Jane Turner. What did you say to your father? The truth. The truth? The truth is that we sacrificed everything. And you're threatening us. Mom, you stole my home. We borrowed it. You forged my signature. You sold my property. There's no borrowing involved. Stop being dramatic. Do you know how stressed I've been? Planning this wedding for months, and now you're making everything worse. Mom, I just had major spinal surgery. I can barely feel my legs. Sienna is getting married, Jane. Why can't you just be happy for her? I was happy before she took $400,000 from me. She didn't take anything. We made a family decision. Without me, you were unavailable. I was unconscious. Same thing. You would have said no anyway. You've always been selfish. Selfish. 32 years of working, saving, asking for nothing. Mom, I said softly. Do you know who owns the house you're standing in right now? She paused. What? The house where you and Dad live. Do you know who owns it? We do, obviously. Are you sure? Jane, what are you talking about? I'll see you at the wedding, Mom. I hung up. The third call was to Aunt Eleanor, my father's older sister, the only person in my family who'd ever truly seen me. Jane, sweetheart. I heard what happened. Christopher called trying to spin some story about a family investment. I told him he was out of his mind. Aunt Eleanor, I need your help. Anything. Can you keep a secret for 3 weeks? What are you planning? I told her enough. The surgery, the wedding, the lawyer. Jane, once you do this, there's no going back. They sold my home while I was fighting for my life. There's no going back from that either. Then what do you need? I'm going to give you an envelope. If anything happens, bring it to the wedding. You've always been the strongest one, Jane. Don't let them break you. I won't. Now I need to tell you the secret. In 2021, I got a call from a friend who worked at a bank. The one with my parents' mortgage. Jane, I shouldn't tell you this, but your parents are about to lose their house. $180,000 in debt. Foreclosure in 60 days. They were about to be homeless. I called my lawyer, Eric Burnham. You want to buy your parents' debt and purchase the house without them knowing? Yes. Through an LLC. Anonymous ownership. Legal, clean, invisible. 3 weeks later, I owned my parents' house. They thought some investment company had saved them. They signed a lease, never knowing their daughter was their landlord. Every month, their rent went into my account. They had no idea. I didn't do it for revenge. I did it because I still loved them. But now, in that hospital bed, that love had found its limit. 3 days after surgery, Eric came to my room. I pulled the documents on your condo. It's worse than I thought. Forged power of attorney. The signature doesn't even come close to matching yours. Can we reverse it? He shook his head. The buyer is innocent. Unwinding it would take years. 425,000. Gone. You could file criminal charges. Your parents could face prison time. What else? He pulled out another document. The house. Your house. You still own it. And their lease expires April 19th. I did the math. 1 week after Sienna's wedding. So the lease expires 1 week after the wedding. If you wanted to serve them with a notice to vacate, they'd have 30 days. 30 days. There's something almost poetic about that timing, Eric said. For the first time since waking up, I smiled. Draft the notice. I'll tell you when to serve it. 1 week before the wedding, Sienna called. I was home, moving slowly with a cane. The pain was manageable. My head was clear. Jane, I heard you've been upsetting Mom and Dad. Have I? They said you threatened them over some money thing. Some money thing? Sienna, they sold my condo. Right, but that was a family decision. You're single. You don't need a place that big. It was 800 square feet. Still, it's not like you have a husband or kids. Sienna, did you know where the money came from? Too quickly, I don't get involved in finances. But you knew. I didn't. You suggested it, didn't you? You told them I had the condo. You told them I was going into surgery. You knew I'd be unconscious. That's not, I just said you had assets. It was a suggestion. You pointed them at me like a weapon. You're being dramatic. You've always been jealous. You're 32 and alone, and now you're trying to ruin my wedding. I'll see you at the wedding, Sienna. You better not cause a scene. I wouldn't dream of it. The next day, Sienna went public. Instagram story, mascara-streaked cheeks, carefully staged. Caption, when someone in your own family is so jealous of your happiness that they try to destroy your wedding. My sister is threatening to ruin the most important day of my life. Just because she's alone and bitter doesn't mean she gets to steal my joy. Within an hour, the comments exploded. So sorry, Queen. Your sister sounds toxic. My phone started ringing. Aunts, uncles, cousins. Jane, how could you? Why are you doing this? Not one person asked for my side. I screenshotted everything. The post, the comments, the private messages calling me selfish, jealous, pathetic. I saved them all. These will be useful later. 2 days before the wedding, there was a rehearsal dinner. Upscale Italian. Private room, 25 people. $12,000. I arrived late with my cane. The room went quiet. Jane. My mother's smile was sharp. We didn't think you'd make it. I wouldn't miss it. My father stood to toast. Tonight, we celebrate family. We celebrate sacrifice. This wedding represents our family's love. Many people contributed to make it possible. His gaze flickered to me. Family takes care of family. I raised my glass. Said nothing. But Ben, the groom, was looking at me strangely. Curiously. At the end of the night, Sienna approached. I'm surprised you came. I have a gift for you, I said. For the wedding. A gift? Something special. You'll see on Saturday. April 12th. Wedding day. 5-star hotel. Garden courtyard. White roses, crystal chandeliers, string quartet. 200 guests. 200 people to witness the perfect wedding. Paid for with stolen money. I arrived with Aunt Eleanor. Both in navy. Ready? She murmured. Yes. In my clutch, a manila envelope. I took a seat in the very last row. My parents in front. My mother in champagne silk. My father in an expensive tuxedo. Sienna walked down the aisle in $22,000 of lace. Beautiful. Triumphant. As she passed, her eyes found mine. A satisfied smile. I smiled back. Ben waited at the altar, nervous and hopeful. The officiant began. At "Speak now or forever hold your peace," heads turned toward me. I didn't move. Sienna's smile grew wider. "Not yet. Your moment will come at the reception. In front of everyone." Vows were exchanged. Rings placed. 200 people applauded. I watched, face neutral, heart steady. The reception tent was massive. Chandeliers, ivory tablecloths, huge dance floor. Head table elevated. Bride and groom in the center. My seat, table 14. Near the kitchen. The table for unwanted relatives. "Siberia," Eleanor muttered. I expected nothing less. Dinner was served. Filet mignon, lobster tail, $300 wine. My father tapped his glass. "This wedding represents everything our family believes in. Sacrifice. Unity. Love. Many people made this possible." His eyes landed on me. "Everyone who contributed." Eleanor's hand found mine. "Almost. Raising 2 daughters has been the greatest privilege. Sienna, you have always been the light of this family." Sienna dabbed her eyes. "And Jane is also here today. We're grateful for her contributions." Awkward chuckles. "In fact, I think Jane should say a few words. Come up here. Give your sister a toast." The room turned. My mother, frozen smile, warning eyes. Sienna, triumph masking fear. I reached for my cane. Slowly, I stood. The walk took forever. Each step deliberate. Cane tapping the floor. I climbed the platform. My father handed me the microphone. "Don't be long." I faced the crowd. 200 people. Chandeliers. Expensive flowers. A microphone in my hand. "Thank you, Dad. You're right. I have contributed to this wedding. Quite a lot." Silence. "Let me tell you exactly how much. 6 weeks ago, I had spinal surgery. 9 hours. Sympathetic murmurs. While I was unconscious, my parents sold my condo. The murmuring stopped. $425,000. My home. 8 years of savings. They forged my signature and sold it without my knowledge." My father stepped forward. "Jane, don't." I didn't raise my voice. He stopped. "You had your speech. This is mine." I pulled the envelope out. I have the documents. The forged signature. The fraudulent power of attorney. All of it. Gasps. "But that's not why I'm here." I met Sienna's eyes. "I'm here to give you a gift." I pulled out a second document. "This is the deed to 247 Maple Drive. My parents' house." My mother stood. "What?" "In 2021, when you were about to lose that house, someone bought it. An anonymous investor. You've been paying rent ever since." Silence. "That investor was me." My mother's face went white. "I own your house. I've owned it for 4 years. And your lease expires in exactly 30 days. The room erupted. My father lunged. "You're lying." "Public record, Dad." From the back, Eric approached in a gray suit with a briefcase. "Who is that?" "My attorney." Eric addressed the crowd. "I'm Eric Burnham. I can confirm Jane Turner is the legal owner of 247 Maple Drive. I can also confirm the power of attorney used to sell her condo was fraudulent. My client has grounds for criminal prosecution." Dead silence. Then Ben stood. "Wait. The money for this wedding. The $300,000 your parents gave. That was from Jane's condo?" My mother couldn't meet his eyes. "You paid for our wedding with stolen money? You told me it was savings." Sienna grabbed his arm. "Ben, it's complicated." "Complicated?" He pulled away. "Did you know?" She opened her mouth, closed it. Her silence answered. Ben's parents stood. His mother's face was stone. "We need to speak with you. Now." The quartet stopped. Servers froze. 200 guests watched the collapse. I hadn't raised my voice once. Ben walked off. Sienna stumbled after him. Ben, please. He spun around. Your family stole from your sister to pay for this? You knew and said nothing? Real tears now. I watched. I didn't feel triumph, just tired. Ben's mother approached Sienna. We need to talk. Privately. Mrs. Carmichael. Now. They disappeared into a side room. Aunt Eleanor appeared. It's done. Not quite. But close. I picked up the microphone. I want to be clear. I didn't do this for revenge. I did it because the truth deserves to be told. And because I deserve to be treated like a human being. I set down the microphone and walked off. The crowd parted. No one stopped me. Outside, the spring air was cool. I sat on a bench, watching the sunset. People drifted out. Some left immediately. Others gossiped. Cousin Adam approached. Jane, I didn't know. I'm sorry. I nodded. Then Ben's mother sat beside me. Jane, we had no idea. I know. Ben is devastated. I'm sorry. That wasn't my intention. Wasn't it? She studied me. No, I don't think it was. You just wanted the truth. She stood. For what it's worth, you did the right thing. A marriage built on lies was never going to last. An hour later, Ben found me. He sat heavily, bow tie loose, eyes red. Jane, I need to tell you something. You don't owe me anything. I do. 3 months ago, my laptop went missing at Sienna's apartment. She said it was stolen. What was on it? Financial records. My family's holdings. Trust funds. He met my eyes. I thought it was bad luck. Now I think she targeted me, found out about my family's money and engineered everything. I'm sorry. Don't be. You saved me. We're filing for annulment. And my family is demanding she return what they contributed. $150,000. He paused. I don't think she has it. He left. The fallout was swift. By Monday, someone posted my speech online. Thousands of views within days. My father was placed on leave. My mother lost her book club, tennis group, charity committee. Sienna's real followers disappeared. The annulment went through fast. Sienna was left with nothing. 1 week later, she got her first job in 6 years. Retail. Minimum wage. 30 days after the wedding, my father called. We need to talk about the house. What about it? The notice says we have to leave. We have nowhere to go. That's not my problem, Dad. You're evicting your own parents. What kind of daughter does that? The kind whose parents stole $425,000 from her. We didn't steal. You forged my signature during surgery. That's theft and fraud. You're lucky I'm not pressing charges. Silence. Please. Give us more time. No. You had 4 years paying rent to a daughter you treated like nothing. I saved you from foreclosure. You repaid me by stealing my home. We didn't know it was you. Would it have mattered? He couldn't answer. 30 days, Dad. If you do this, you're no longer my daughter. I almost laughed. I was never your daughter. I was just the one you used. I hung up. 2 months later, I walked through the empty house. Aunt Eleanor stood beside me. How do you feel? I thought I'd feel something. Vindication, satisfaction. But I just feel sad. You didn't just lose your parents. You lost the hope they'd ever love you right. What will you do with it? Rent it to a young couple. Teachers. The income goes to charity, for women who've experienced financial abuse in their families. Eleanor smiled. That's beautiful. I locked the door. Life continued. 3 months later, I saw my mother in the park, sitting on a bench by the fountain. Alone. Older. Smaller. More gray. Less polished. Our eyes met. I walked over. I don't know why. I sat down, leaving space. She stared straight ahead. I didn't expect to see you. I live nearby now. Silence. Fountain burbling. Children laughing. Are you okay? She finally turned. Red-rimmed eyes. I'm okay, Jane. Her voice cracked. I never meant. I waited. Part of me wanted an apology. A real one. But she just shook her head. You should go home, Mom. It's getting cold. She nodded. Rose. Paused. I wish. I know. She left without finishing. I sat for a long time. I didn't hate her. I didn't love her. I was just done. Some relationships can't be repaired. Some damage is too deep. And that's okay. So that's my story. My parents live in their apartment. We don't speak. Sienna works retail. She's in therapy. I hope it helps. Not for her, for whoever she becomes next. Ben remarried 2 years later. A teacher. They have a baby. He sent me a birth announcement. That was kind. I'm 34 now. I bought a new place last year. Smaller, but mine. Every brick earned. I still have the cane in my closet. A reminder of how far I've come. Here's what I learned. Setting boundaries isn't revenge. It's self-respect. Family doesn't give anyone the right to hurt you. Blood doesn't erase betrayal. And sometimes the most loving thing you can do for yourself is walk away. If you're watching this and you see yourself in my story, if your family treats you like an afterthought, like an ATM, you deserve better. You are allowed to say no. You don't have to light yourself on fire to keep others warm. Thanks for listening, and if you liked this story, share it with others, and don't forget to comment and subscribe for more stories about standing up for yourself when family lets you down. The people who are supposed to love you the most shouldn't be the ones who hurt you the worst.